Hi, my name is Yitzchak. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making Dye Tzitzit like these. Just a quick thing to point out before we make the Dye Tzitzit. We're going to be making them without the strings. The strings we'll put on afterwards. So there'll be a video afterwards showing you how to tie the strings. So if you want to make them with white strings, either get them without the strings or take the strings off to dye them first. The strings are not regular strings. They have to be made lishma, which means they have to be made for the sake of tzitzis. They're not just standard strings. And there's a requirement. So we're going to make them without the strings. If you get a pair of tzitzis, a white pair of tzitzis, and you want to make, and you don't care that the strings are colored, there are rabbis that say it's okay, so it's fine. You can just make the tzitzis without the strings. Basically, these are the things you're going to need. You're going to need first a bucket, a tub of water. You're going to need baking soda. This baking soda we mix in with water, and it acts as a binder, and it prepares the tzitzits to be made. You're going to need obviously tzitzit, white tzitzits, like I said, without the strings, or you can make them with the strings if you want, if you don't care if they're colored. Rubber bands, latex gloves, like sandwich baggies, large ones. Garbage bags. The garbage bags you could use. You could make it as a smock if you don't want to get dirty, but we'll also use it for something else later. And we need dye. The dye that we're going to use, I get it from this company called Dharma Trading. You can get it from anywhere. You can get it in your local supply store. That's how it's spelled. The reason why this is good, this company is good, they ship international, but the dyes that we use, you can make it with cold water. There are a lot of dyes that you need hot water to mix it up, and that just it's an extra step, and it's also it's a big step because you got to have pots of boiling water, everything like that. So they have a certain dye that you can use cold water. And you're going to need your pails for dye. If you're making a large party, and I'm talking, in the dozens or hundreds of tzitzis, you might pay to have buckets and make the water in the buckets, and then as you use up the dye in these buckets, you add more. And also, if the dye in these buckets get messed up, after a while they start getting brown because the colors get mixed up. So you can always put fresh dye from these, leave them under the table. Right now we're going to make just a small tie-dye party for a demonstration, so we just need a little bit amount of buckets, water in these small buckets. The first step that we're going to do is we're going to mix the baking soda with the water. There's not exact science in how much you need. I'm probably going to use a few hundred grams in this water. Now, like I said, the baking soda acts as a binder. Somehow it mixes with the dye, and that's what holds it onto the material. So you just add them in the tub of water and stir it up. And the next step to prepare it. For this, you're going to need gloves, because the dye will get your hands dirty. They wash off after a few days, but it's better to have gloves. Now, the colors we chose for today, we're going to make purple, orange, and blue. You just take a spoonful. Like I said, there's no real science in the amount that you need. The more dye you use, the darker the color is going to be. If you use a bigger bucket for a larger party, you're going to need a lot more dye. But you just take out this powder and you put it in the water. You don't even need so much for this small amount, and you mix it up. try to get these chunks till they're well mixed. Now note it's important the order that I put it, starting from the lighter colors and moving on to darker colors. Because if you start dipping in darker colors, then it'll mess up the lighter colors. If you start with the lighter colors and then move on to darker colors, the dyes in the buckets will hold their color for longer. They won't get mixed up. They won't get all brownish. So this is the purple. This is how we do the thing. You take the tzitzit, you separate them, and you put them first to soak in the baking soda and water mixture. Get them soaked till they're saturated. You can leave them in for a few minutes, or you just get them all. Make sure they're all wet. And you take them out. It's good to have extra buckets around. You can have an extra bucket in case you need to bring more water. If you do bring more water, make sure to add more baking soda also. And squeeze it out. Make sure to squeeze back in this bucket, not all over the floor. Squeeze them out well. For this stage, that's the first stage. This stage, I'm going to show you a basic design. And with this basic design, really you can make a whole bunch of other designs. Truth is, with tie-dye, as you'll see, you can really do a lot of things, and anything you do is going to come out with something. You can't really mess it up. But you put it flat on the table. Notice how I put the front down. Because the front is will have a nicer design because it's flat on the table. You see what I'm talking about. The most basic design is you take it from the middle and you twist it. Some people use a fork. It's easier to grip in the middle. You don't need it, but you could use it. You twist it around. You make like a Danish, like that. Okay. Then you take a rubber band, open it like this, take it from across you, and slide it over, like that. You turn it a little bit, you put 3 or 4 rubber bands on each one. Take it across, slide it towards you, that's probably the easiest way to do it. And try to get all these like extra ends that are sticking out, like that. Okay? Then you go over to the next design. There's about 1.5 inches of dye in each of these buckets. And you dip it in. You can let it sit for longer it's in there, the more the dye is going to get it to soak in and get in there. You can take it and you squeeze it also. That gets it in well. Okay. Then you take it, you turn it a little bit. You go to the next dye, the next color, and you put it in. You can also let it sit there for a good few seconds. And you take it out and you squeeze it. And you take it to the third color dip it in. Squeeze it in there. Now I'm going to open this up to show us what it looks like. But the proper move is to have patience and not to open it up. The proper move is to take a baggie, put them in the bag, and let it sit for a good 3-4 days to let the color the color really set in there. You twist it around, and then you put it in a garbage bag. The reason why you're putting it in a garbage bag is to let it sit for a few days. You don't want to let it sit in the sunlight because the sun bleeds the colors. And you put it in there and you let it sit for like 3-4 days. Then you open it and wash it and dry it. But for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to be opening these just to show you what it is. So this is what it looks like. See that? I'm going to put it over here. Demonstration. Okay, and now that you have that basic design, right? Once again, I'll show you what that basic design was. But once you have that basic design, you take it, you put it down on the table, and you twirl it. Make like a Danish out of it. You put the rubber bands across. See how I said the part on the table is a tighter design than this? So that's why you put that face down. And then once you have that basic design, what you do is you take the other one. This is where you get creative. Okay, you fold it in half, or fold it any direction. This way, you know, or you can fold it this way. Anyway, you fold it in half, and then when you make the design anywhere here, or at the shoulder, in the middle, anywhere you want, it's going to come out double. So again, you do that twist, make it as a Danish. Put the rubber bands across. Oops. You know, or you take another one, do anything you want. Fold it this way, start over there. You take these and you dip them in. Just put them like this, let it sit there for a few seconds. Squeeze it in good. Remember, like I said, take it, put it in a plastic baggie, twist it closed, this way the liquid doesn't evaporate, and it'll sit there for like 3-4 days, like I said, just until it sets, you put it in the bag. But let me show you these other ones that we did, the same design, but we folded it. This is what we got by one of them. See that? You see how it's like a double design? Double over there. basically how to make tie-dye tzitzit. That's the steps on how to make tie-dye tzitzit. If you want it, you can stop the video now, or I'll show you how to make a few more designs and get more classic sunshine. So take it, grab it in the middle, you hold it like this, you make it like this, you put a rubber band 3 or 4 places on it. It's one, depending on the size, and each section you're going to dye in a different color. That one you could do the same thing. You don't have to grab it in the middle. Let's say you grab it on the side. You get the same thing. The trick is just to fold it over and get it like that. We'll see how this one looks. You can go back in this color. Like I said, it's always good to start with the lighter colors, because if you go backwards from a dark color to the light color, it'll mess it up. I'll put this down for a second. I'll show you how this one is. Like I said, the proper move is to put it in the bag, don't open it right away, because the designs will come out better if they're left to sit for a few days. This is more of your classic tie-dye design. So, this is that classic design, sun, like this. This was basically the same thing, but when we grab it in the side, it comes out like this. And like I said, anywhere where you grab it, something's going to come out. Okay, here's another design. Another design. Take it, you put it flat. What you do is you go from anywhere. You can go from the bottom like this, or you can go from the side, anywhere you go. Let's do it from the bottom, like this. Take a rubber band. here's a design that's fun. What you do is you take two opposing corners from each side, one from the bottom from this side and from this side. You go like that, and twirl it all around like this. And once you have a string, now you can start having fun. You can tie knots. You know, do whatever you want. Start tying knots, or you can just take it and put it over here and do one of these. Again, like a Danish. Squeeze it in there. One thing you notice with the tie-dye, wherever the colors mix, whatever color comes between, so they're like blue and orange makes a kind of greenish color. If you look at these other ones, you see there's like a greenish color. We didn't have green, but a greenish color came out. Over here, over here. Alright, there's one more design I'll show you. You could start, let me show you a combination. Once you have these designs, these various designs, you could start combining them, right? Let's say you combine that last design with the first design. So start at the edge, go like this, and then over here in the corner, you twist. So what I did, I'll show again. Go like, you know, one side, whatever, it doesn't matter. You make that last design we did. Then what's left, twist. And you can also get creative on how you dip it. You don't always have to dip it just, you know, straight way. You could dip it, you know, half in orange, let's say. Dip the other half in blue. And then with the third color, the darkest color, you could like ride it around the edge. You see that? Squeeze in the edge. Let's see what this came out like. Swirl over here, and you kind of got the lines like this design over here. The truth of the matter is with tie-dye, anything you do is going to come out as something. You can't mess up tie-dye. So however you dip it, however you twist it or fold it, doesn't matter. You could even take one, drop it on the table, start twisting and folding, and such, whatever. Let's see what this comes out like. You dip it a little bit here. Some orange over there. Some blue here. We get a little blue on the inside over here. Some purple. Alright, let's see what that came out like. Fun. Anybody could do it, any age. You don't have to have expertise. You're welcome to go online. Online, there's a lot of websites that show all sort of different designs and how to make it, and just have fun with it. That's basically how we make tie-dye tzitzit, the dyeing part. B'ezrat Hashem, there'll be another video later on after a few days. It's going to take to wash and dry it, let it sit for in these baggies. For a few days, and let it wash it and dry it, and then afterwards we'll put the strings on. Thank you very much. This is Yitzchak again, and I hope you have fun.